Hey, that is Matthew Morrison singing, and this is him talking.
Hello, hello.
A little bit of singing.
A little singing.
Yeah. Is Glee famous everywhere?
Is Glee famous everywhere?
Well, like, are you famous everywhere?
It is a globally international show. Absolutely.
So everywhere you go, people go, "Oh, there's that guy."
There's the guy from Glee, Mr. Schuster. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only in New York that people go, "Oh, it's Mr. Morrison," because I had a long career there before Glee.
Yeah, and they're just showing off.
I guess.
Yeah, actually, we know who he is. Yeah, actually, I've met him before. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, he's from Broadway. And talking of Broadway, very good. That was very good the way you got New York in there.
There
so
you
quickly.
go. Yeah.
You've got an album out.
There we go.
Yeah, where it all began, and it's presumably your selection of Broadway classics.
Yeah, the songs that I picked, some of my favorite songs that I've always loved to sing. On the Street Where We Live, it's from My Fair Lady. I sing that at every single audition I've ever had in my entire life, including Glee. So that's a favorite of mine, and just some fun songs that I love to sing and perform and dance to. And
also, I suppose things that you wouldn't be in that musical, so you won't get to sing those songs in the show. So,
I'm this is my pre-audition. I'm in hopes of one day getting into that musical.
Now it's obviously it's you, and in the first album there was lots of duets.
Right,
like Gwyneth Paltrow and Elton John
and Sting.
Yeah. But this time it's Smokey Robinson's on it.
Smokey's on it, yeah.
But he's the only one.
He's the only one.
And why that decision? Why to just?
No one else wanted to be on it.
Okay.
No, okay. No, I just it's standards. I think every now and then people try to come in and put like their own stamp on these well-worn classic songs, and I was trying to do that, and luckily I met Smokey last year, and he kind of said he wanted to be a part of this, and when someone of that ilk comes along, you kind of say, oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what a cool thing to happen.
Very cool, yeah.
And now, in terms of behind the scenes, there are other big names. Adam Levine, he owns the label.
Yeah, he started his own record label. So this is the first album released on his new label.
And how does that work? Do people speak to people, or is it you and Adam talking?
Well, we've been friends for a little while, and we kind of just got to we talk about music a lot, and he's this pop rock god, and I've always been into this kind of music, and he knows that, and he's like, I want to make this record for you. And I kind of laughed it off. I was like, yeah, right, buddy. But I'm sitting here talking to you today because he made it happen. It was a great experience.
And then there's a kind of poignancy to it as well, because I think, is this true that this is the last thing Phil Ramone produced?
Yeah, Phil Ramone, if you guys don't know, he's a huge producer. Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Billy Joel. So he was the first guy on my list that I wanted to, be a part and produce this album. And luckily he said yes. And unfortunately he passed, right after we finished this.
And with someone like that, a really legendary producer like that, what is his contribution? I mean, is it the sound, or does he work on the arrangements? How does that work?
A little bit of everything. I thought he would come in and have all this knowledge. I mean, he does, and all this stuff to say, but it felt like the first time he ever worked with anyone. And I think that was his beauty and his genius, that he had this freshness about him. And it was just, one of the best things about being in the studio with him was I should have been in the recording booth. I ended up in the control room so many times because I just wanted to hear this man's stories of all the people he worked with. It was incredible, and he just made you feel so relaxed.
Actually, if people do want to know more about Phil Ramone, since he died, BBC Radio 2, they're repeating a documentary series. Alison Moyet is telling the story of Phil Ramone. The first episode went out last Thursday at 9:30, and it's 5 more to go. 5 more to go, and it's a really great series, and they talked to everybody.
Oh my god!
Maybe not you, because I think they made it before.
I would love to see that, actually, or hear that.
We'll get you we'll burn a CD.
I would love that. That'd be great. Thank you.
We'll get that for you. So now you got the new album. It is traditional that when you do an album, you then perform it live.
Yes.
So you've done some gigs here.
Yeah, I did a couple gigs here. One a few days ago at Bush Hall, which is a kind of place in Shepherd's Bush. It's like an old concert hall, and it was really kind of cool.
Is the Shepherd's Bush Empire?
No.
There's another place called the Bush Hall. Never heard of it.
There you go.
I should leave the house. I should really get out more. I've only lived here for 30 years, Matthew.
You got a few jobs, you know.
Yeah, I've only worked in Shepherd's Bush. Why would I know that? And back in the States, are you touring it, or?
Yeah, I'm actually doing touring with my band a little bit, but I'm also doing different symphony orchestras. Because this music plays well with a huge 60-piece orchestra behind it, so I love doing orchestra dates with this kind of music.
It is fantastic, isn't it? When so obviously you were successful, you were nominated for Tonys and things, but what TV can do when it works, when it hits.
It really is. Like I said, people knew me in New York, but outside of that, I can go anywhere and no one knew who I was. But yeah, it's really just changed my life. For the good and, for bad, too.
I'm sure there's some annoying bits.
Yeah.
There's some annoying bits. You're wearing a cap, some dark glasses, you'll be fine. Were there people outside? Were there greasy haired people outside?
People. I got to go. I kind of rushed in here, but I'm going to get them all on the way out.
Don't.
Okay, I'll tell them you said that.
Yeah, just leave. What are they doing? They should be at home, washing windows. Washing their hair. I say this and I forget, of course, they're all downstairs listening.
Yeah. And you have to walk out of this building eventually, too. So.
They're spitting on my car right now. They'll be keying my car and writing rude words in the filth on my car. So people have missed the opportunity to see you in this country now, doing live. But you'll be back, right?
I'm coming here about 4 times a year. I love it over here. From coming so often, I've acquired a great group of friends over here, so I love my time here.
And Glee, obviously, coming back.
Yes.
Now, is it 2 more seasons they're doing?
2 more seasons.
For sure.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Because you do, with a show like that, you must have worried, because you kind of think, well, how long can these kids be in high school for?
I know. Well, they did graduate. Last year they graduated.
Yeah, but they've done it cleverly, haven't they?
They really have. The writers are really smart on the show, and I'm interested to see what happens next. I mean, we don't really know what's going to happen, but it's
And because it's not all in the high school anymore, do you get more time off?
I do.
You get a bit more of a life,
which is so great. I think because I had dreams of going to Los Angeles and from New York and having hanging out at the beach and hanging out with friends. And I found myself locked in a soundstage 16 hours a day, every day.
With children.
Well, some of them were kind of as close to my age as me. Yeah. But so now it's really just freed up a lot of time, and I'm really getting to experience LA and hang out with friends and on the beach.
Yeah. And now Glee, it's done some extraordinary things. There was a lot of controversy last season when they did the high school shooting episode, which was, I mean, if you didn't see it, we should explain it wasn't really a high school shooting, but it referenced a high school shooting. Were you worried about going into that? Did the cast kind of go, ooh, is this where Glee can go?
No, we kind of took on the challenge. It was really amazing because it is a comedy for the most part, and everyone all the actors really just kind of got into those roles and really went for it. And it was really great to be a part of that. And we shot that whole sequence. We didn't stop. We just kept let the cameras roll out.
Yeah.
And we embraced the pauses, and it was a beautiful time. And as an actor, it was really amazing to be a part of that kind of thing. In terms of the subject matter, I thought it was it might have been a little too soon because there's a lot of that going on right now. But I felt like it was a good insight to see what happens inside the situation, because we all look at it from a peripheral view, but it was interesting to be in it, to feel like we were in it for a second.
It was a really intense sort of 15 minutes of television. It was a good reminder of how powerful television can be.
Yeah, but hopefully a family can watch that together and then turn the TV off and have a conversation about it, about what they just watched. I think that's the power of Glee.
Graham Norton.
Are you planning to go back to Broadway? Or are you going to wait for Glee to kind of find?
I kind of have to, because we shoot 10 months out of the year, and we get 2 months off, so it's not enough time to put on a proper show. But I cannot wait. And I'm over here. I'm talking to a few producers over here for West End.
Oh, get you.
Possibly.
Matthew Morrison in the West End. Chloe, she was at the Bush Hall show. So it was breathtaking.
Ooh,
so she
Chloe.
found it. She wants to know, though, what is the best part about being in London this week?
The weather. I know it's overcast right now, but
are you laughing at us, Matthew?
I love it over here. I guess I'm around the sun every single day, so I think it's kind of refreshing to be a little cloudy.
You just lost a lot of fans there, I think.
Sorry about it. And pre-Wimbledon, it's getting exciting. Wimbledon's coming.
This is Hannah Ingham. She's 16. Hi, Hannah. She wants to know who's been the best star guest so far whilst working in Glee, and why?
And why? God, we've had so many. I'd have to say Gwyneth Paltrow. She's the one I worked the closest with on the show, and you know, it's refreshing when someone comes on the show that you don't know has a particular talent. Like, I didn't know she sang, and she sang so well. It kind of blew everyone away. And she's such a sweet, sweet woman.
Yeah, Kate Hudson, I think, has been a real revelation.
Yeah, like her dancing on the show is amazing.
Yeah, but also just playing, that sort of cow.
Yeah.
She's really good at it. Yeah, and we just have never seen it before.
Yeah.
Now, listen to Leslie Porter. So, finger on pulse. I read this week that Matthew would like to do a West End show. Seriously.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Does he have any ideas what show he would like to do? Leslie goes on.
Oh.
I hear Cameron McIntosh is reviving Miss Saigon. It is 2014. I think Matt would be perfect for that. Please, Matthew.
Well, I think Cameron's trying to do a movie version of Miss Saigon, is what I've heard.
Oh, be in that.
I would love
Stupid West
to
End.
be in that. Come on, Cameron, if you're listening, let's have lunch. But no, actually,
Annie does listen to the show.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But I would love to do something original, something that hasn't been done before. I think that's kind of what I'm gearing up to do, is something original, but also I'm seeing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is premiering pretty soon, like this
Tuesday.
Tuesday,
I'm going.
I am too.
Oh, I'll see you
yes,
there.
All right.
Oh,
Fantastic.
lovely.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a role, when I think about that movie and that book, that's a role I would love to play, Willy Wonka.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
What if I said Charlie?
Yeah, do it.
What if it's Charlie?
What if it's Charlie? Let's go on to some of these ones. Claire Francis, this sounds quite random. Do you have your own horse?
No, I don't.
We don't have a firewall at the BBC. Just texts come through.
She might have wrote that because I do have a love of horses.
Okay.
Yes.
How very teenage girl of you.
But I travel too much. Thank you. I'm on my own pony.
Matthew's room with a big horse's head on the outside.
But I travel so much, I don't think it would be fair to, raise a horse, I guess.
Can you please ask Matthew Morrison if he remembers me? This is from...
oh, yeah, you.
Yeah. This Barbarella, was at the HMV signing yesterday.
I remember her just because of her name.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't hear that name very often, so I remember her. And she came to the show, too, as well.
Oh, Barbarella. That was very good of her.
She's probably outside right now.
Oh, she probably is. Uh-oh. Listen, we're out of time. So let's just one more time say where it all began. The album is in shops now. Congratulations on that. I'll see you on Tuesday for Gossip
Absolutely.
Cheap Wine.
And loved your show last night. It was incredible.
Oh, thank you so much. That's very kind. What a nice man. You can come back.
Graham Norton.